Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's J. Michael Smith here from Tyler, Texas. Welcome to Mentor Monday on August 11th, 2025. It's been a great August so far, great summer so far. But Dave and Gabby have been gone for a few weeks, or almost it seems like a month, with him in India earlier, and now they just got back from South America. So we've got a great. He's going to share a lot of information. I hadn't talked to Dave in quite a while, but Dave, I see you're here. You look refreshed and rested after your trip. I saw you went to the movies or went to a concert, a Beach Boy concert last night with the family. My
Beach
gosh, that's
Boys.
back.
Actually, that
Yeah.
was Saturday night. Yesterday was baseball.
Oh, okay. Well, Dave, I'm going to keep it short here today and just get it right over to you and let you take over and tell us about your trip. Tell us what's on your mind and what's happening with For Life going through the summer. Seems like we're just have the companies having a great summer too, so all over the world. But what's happening with Upline Pro and our team?
Thank you, J. Michael. I appreciate you as always, your leadership, and how you're always supporting everybody. Being part of our family, our community, our team, and I want to thank everybody else too for taking the time today to be here. We are in, of course, still summertime. I believe school is going to be starting up pretty soon, so that's an important time of year as kids go back to school to let the parents know that, hey, they're going to be around a lot of other kids and there's a lot of stuff that goes around. It's important to stay healthy and share with them transfer factor, and especially the immune boost, the transfer factor burst. It's warm weather here in Southern California right now. Kids love to put the burst or the mothers put it in the freezer, and the kids love to eat it. It's like a popsicle, and it's got their transfer factor in it, so they can get their 600 milligrams of transfer factor every day. And that was a big message during this tour that Gabby and I did. I'll be sharing some pictures with everybody. Was talking a lot about the importance of getting your 600 milligrams every day of transfer factor. And there's various ways to do that. As you all know, we've got multiple products that have multiple benefits. Like one of my favorites is the Energy Go Sticks. I go through these a lot when I'm traveling because I have days where it's not the event itself that is the most strenuous on me. It's the day after the event because everybody wants to come and meet at the hotel. Usually it's just in the lobby. We find a quiet place or in a coffee shop that's there. And first group usually comes like at 9 in the morning. And I don't finish up sometimes till 9 at night, 12 hours of just talk, 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 talk. Sure, we take a break and eat. But, I want to talk today about the essence of networking. What is it that we do? How do we make money? How do you achieve your dreams and your goals? And how do you develop and grow? And sometimes I just take it for granted, honestly, because I've been doing this since 1981. I mean, think about it. It's a long time. I've been doing the same thing. Networking. What's networking? Presenting a plan to people, presenting an option to people, helping them enrich their lives, where they can enjoy a life of good health, by using products that bring value, enrichment to their life, their health, patented products that are unique that people are looking for. And then from a financial standpoint, if they're interested in getting involved, building a community, a family, and I say team as well because everybody has their own team they're building, but it's really more about community and family. And that word is used a lot by Jillian, community. And it's so true. That's what we're doing. And so I've been doing it for a long time. And I've learned that the follow-up is critical. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit today. So we had a lot of events, but now the real work begins. We're back home, and I can't tell you how many messages I have. I tried to take a couple of days off with my family. We did go to a Beach Boys concert. Never seen the Beach Boys before. That was fun. Mike Love, believe it or not, the singer, the guy's still singing. He's 83 years old. And so that was fun, though, watching that. And but we're back home, and I want to share with you a little bit about what we do as networkers. I say that all the time. I'm a networker. What's a networker? Well, a networker is someone who presents a plan, an option where they can, again, change their lives to someone you don't even know through someone you do know. And a perfect example of that is everybody here on this call. Some of you I know personally, but how did I meet you? I met you through someone else. I didn't meet you just walking down the street and I just, jumped in front of you and said, "Hey, I'm Dave." No, I met Jillian through Cloudy. I met J. Michael through Monica Longoria, and all of you. I met Dodie through Jillian. All of you I meet through someone else. That's what a networker does, you see? Because I don't know, honestly, who really has all the indicators I look for in someone that really wants to change their life. All right. Now, I understand there's a lot of people that join us, get involved, and they do it on a part-time basis, a sometime basis, and that's fine. We love everybody. We've got a lot of customers, and frankly, many people start out as customers. And then as time goes on, they become more interested in the business opportunity because they see what we're doing, they see what's happening. And so these indicators I look for, as I'm out traveling around, I'm a very observant person. Most people don't know that because they can't get in my head. And so when I'm out and about meeting people, I'm constantly, it's kind of a habit of mine. We're creatures of habit, right? We all have habits. One of my habits is as I meet people, I'm always observing, looking for indicators as I talk to people, building our community, building our family. These indicators are everything from timing. Timing's everything. I mean, you could talk to somebody and if their head's not there, they're not in the right space because maybe there's a crisis in their life. Maybe their child just got in an accident and something happened, or they just got some bad news about something, or maybe they've lost their job and their head's spinning. They can't think straight. So timing is everything. So, as you share with people, it's important to observe, the timing. And you can tell if they're there or they're not there, or they'll tell you, look, right now is not the right time. And I even ask people, how do you feel? What do you think? And they'll tell me. So timing is critical. Next, I look at their desire. And that's an easy one because if they're there present, they came to the event or they came afterwards to the hotel lobby and to talk and wanting to know more. And so you'll know their desire if they're willing to do certain things. One, sign up. If they're not going to sign up, then what's the point? It's like move on, next. They sign up. Well, are they willing to join our calls like today, the Zoom call? Are they willing to do the things we do to make the necessary changes to achieve the goals in life that we have? Because if you're not willing to make the changes, don't expect to achieve the goal. All right. I always say God put us here to develop. There's a lot of reasons we're here. You have families and to learn and experience what it's like to be happy and sad and feel pain and joy and all those things. But we're also here to develop. But he's not going to give it to us on a silver platter because the way you develop is through exercising. Well, the greatest exercise that we have is called experience. There's no substitute. So every time you present a plan, every time you talk to someone, share with someone, you're developing your skills. All right. So I look at desire as someone that's doing those things. Yeah, obviously, they've got a strong enough desire. And during that desire, they're showing as they're building their business, as they're doing things, all right, discipline. They show their discipline. And that's really what success is about in anything. You look at someone who achieves a high level of success, whether it's an athlete or someone that maybe be an entertainer. Again, they applied the discipline. It gave them the experience, and that gave them the results by taking them, putting it to action. All right. So I look at the discipline they have. Then I also look at their ability to influence and inspire others. And what I say when I'm doing meetings, big meetings, I say, if Elon Musk called you out of the blue and just said, "Hey, I'm Elon Musk and I've got this new idea. I'm going to be starting something new and I'm looking for some people that would like to work with me. All I ask is that you just show up and be there and I'll teach you and train you and work with you." Would you say no? I don't think so. All right. Because it's Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, offering to help you, on a business venture. And so he's highly influential. Not everybody has that level of influence, but I like to observe people and see how influential they are. Everybody does have influence, by the way. If you have kids, I hope you influenced your kids to not play in the streets and don't touch the stove and stay away from, dogs you don't know, you might get bit. All right. Well, you influence them to do good things and be good kids. It's the same thing here. We influence people, and I just influence people by presenting a good plan, doing my best at presenting, and that can be in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, in an hour setting, if it's a formal setting in a hotel somewhere. And then I ask them, you know, what do you think? How do you feel? And join us, and I think a lot of that has to do, by the way, that as we share with people, you have to remove doubts and fears, and then you identify what their need is. Because we don't know most of the time if their need is health, if they need to make some extra money, or both, right? And that happens through talking. That happens through taking the time. And I'm going to get into this a little bit more, the essence of networking. So these indicators I look at, there's also a very important indicator, tenacity. How tenacious is someone? You know, um, I saw a video recently of the soccer player, Ronaldo or Cristiano, and he missed a penalty kick. It was such an easy kick. He missed it. And you could just tell just by the look on his face how shocked he was and disappointed he was, all right, in himself. And he felt like he let his team down because it was such an easy penalty. Well, do you think he quit? No, of course not. And so it's the same here with us. It's not logical to think that every single person we talk to is going to say, "Oh yeah, I want to join your community. I want to join your family. I want to build my dreams with you." Right? So by us doing what we do, we start to inspire people by showing our discipline. All right. We start to influence people more by becoming maybe a little bit more aggressive. I don't mean aggressive and that you beat people over the head. You ask the questions. Would you like to? What do you have to lose? Nothing. What do you have to gain? Everything. So come on and join us. Get the credit card out. Let's call the cup, whatever it takes. Change will only happen if you're willing to change. Right. So the essence of networking, it really is about people. And that's one of the reasons why I love this business, by the way. There's an abundance of people. We don't lack people. They're everywhere, as long as we're willing to talk to them and plant seeds. So here's the vision I try to give people as you're getting started. Imagine today that your business is just you. You just signed up, or you're just getting started. Okay. Well, you're looking for that first person. That's a big milestone. Finding that first partner that says, "Hey, I like what you've shared. I like your presentation. I see value. I see benefit by being part of this, this team, this community, this family. All right. So I want to join too." Now you got two. You've doubled. Talking to people, just presenting, sharing something. And all of a sudden it turns to four. And then it turns to eight. Well, the more people that you have that are part of the community, part of your team, planting seeds and inviting people and sharing with people, the law of averages starts to weigh more in your favor. It's logical. If it's just you, only you, presenting a plan, and that's how it is, well, you're only going to go so far. But if you've got two, four, eight, and eventually 50, 100 people, it's logical that out of that, not everybody, let's say you had 100 people on your your organization, all right, your network. And this week, everybody talked to one person, just one during the week. That's 100 presentations, 100 seeds that were planted. Do you think the odds are great? Community, join the family, purchase product to try the product to get involved, as opposed to if it was just only you? Of course. It's called the law of averages. That's why when I look at my report after doing this for 27 years with For Life, every single day there's new people, there's new volume because there's hundreds of thousands of people around the world sharing and planting seeds. But honestly, on a global scale, when you look at it, it's so small. There's billions of people. We've only got, you know, thousands, thousands when there's billions. So we have a lot to do, especially to hit David Lissamy's goal of 3 million homes using our product, knowing about For Life. So few people out there know about For Life still. So few people. So that's what I look for. All right, those indicators, just to run through them again real quick as you're out sharing with people, planting seeds. And by the way, if you need to have a model to go by on presenting, we have a napkin presentation on uplinePro.com. You just go in there and you have to be a member, it's free, but you can go into the back office and you can see the presentation. I call it the napkin presentation because it covers 4 bullet points or 4 areas, 4 topics. And it's a guide to help you present. You can memorize that presentation. All right. In fact, I'll be doing it tonight in Spanish and probably later this week in English. But I cover those 4 topics. And every day, that's what we do. Present the plan, get to know people, meet new people. All right. Now, those 4 topics, by the way, just so you know, talk about your company. You need to memorize 5, 6 bullets about our company. Multinational, started in 1998, debt-free, we manufacture our own products, we pay every day, daily pay. So bullet points about our company. The science behind our company. Know a bit about transfer factor. What are the benefits of it? For the immune system, helping to recognize, respond to, remember threats. We combine that messenger molecule with other ingredients. So now you get multiple benefits, whether it's energy, whether it's one of my favorites right here, Age Pro. Love Age Pro because I'm going on 66 years old and I want to look like I'm 50 or 45. Take Age Pro with NMN and transfer factor. I love Immune Boost. When I'm traveling, I take my Immune Boost because it helps give me my vitamin C and zinc, and it gives me 1,000 milligrams of transfer factor. 600 a day is what we should take, but when I'm traveling, I'm under a lot of stress and around a lot of people, I take 1,000 milligrams every day. So know the science a little bit. Simple, really simple. Third, the opportunity. What are the benefits? Really just the benefits of having your own business, working from home, multinational. You got an app for your cell phone that you can send links around the world and people can sign up, and we got a virtual store, they can buy products. It's really simple. It honestly is. Know a bit about, the opportunity, the benefits of the opportunity, the rewards of the opportunity. There's no risks, none. Your investment is in yourself. Just use the product. That's all. That's it. No overhead expenses. Third, I talk about the community. That is so critical because if you've never built a big business by yourself before, how are you going to do it here by yourself? Don't. One of the greatest benefits is that you get to learn from others. And when I was 21 years old and I went to my first meeting on networking, I think my ignorance, or my naivete as a young 21-year-old was in my favor because I didn't question a whole lot. When I saw these guys that were very successful entrepreneurs and they told me they were willing to teach me, mentor me in this business, and it cost me 0 just to show up, and do what they said to do, I did it, you know? And so that's what we have here, all those great benefits, and there's no risk. So those are the four topics I talk about: my company, the science behind my products, opportunity, the benefits of this opportunity, and the community. Get connected and stay connected. Do not try to do it by yourself. Again, strength in numbers, law of averages, together we're stronger, all right? And so that's what I do as a networker, okay? Again, I'm a networker. I talk to people through people, and I do talk to people by myself. Case in point, on this trip with Gabby, we talked to a few people cold. Usually the Uber drivers are always the easiest because you just talk. But when I went to India, I talked to the ladies in the lounge. I took pictures with them of holding up glow sticks because I gave out some samples. That's real easy. Give some samples to some people, Taxi driver, that's another one. So, just talking to people, meeting people. So let me get into the pictures here. Just kind of share this trip, and I find it interesting. A lot of people ask, Dave, after 27 years, why are you still doing this? Why? You don't have to. Every single month, every day, you do millions of business. Here's why. One, purpose. You have to have a purpose in life. If you don't have a purpose, then that's when crazy stuff kind of can get in your head. You have to have purpose. All right. I look at a lot of these. In fact, yesterday, we had family here and they were watching a movie. I can't remember the name of the movie, but there was an actor in that movie. It's an older movie with Ben Stiller. And the actor, I forget his name now, he's dead. He died of an overdose of heroin. All right. Great actor. He's in Mission Impossible and just super good actor. How is it these people become famous and kill themselves? Here's why. Purpose. They hit a goal, and all of a sudden, now they don't have that drive to hit another new goal. You see? And all of a sudden, they have this expectation, and it's gone. They achieved it. What next? So when Gabby and I became platinum in 2006, that happened to me. I started realizing, well, I hit this goal. If y'all want to know what my goal is, it was based on money. Okay. Since I was 21 years old, I had a goal to make 6 figures in 1 month, a 6-figure monthly income. And I worked hard for 3 companies before 4Life, and they all crashed. They went down. And I thought, maybe this isn't for me. But I always remember what my mentors taught me. Never base tomorrow's successes on yesterday's failures. You learn from them. And number 2, network marketing is not at fault. It's not the business model's fault. That's like saying that the institution of marriage is bad because there's divorces. No, it just means you didn't have the right partner. The same way in business. Wrong partner, you're going to have problems. Right partner, it's a fantasy. It's incredible, you see. Once I found the right partner with David Lisenby, then it was all upon me, going to work and doing what I had to do. And so when I joined 4Life, I realized I had, the opportunity to hit my goal, which was 6 figures a month. Took me a little over 8 years to do it, but I got there. And then all of a sudden I realized, what now? And I honestly started feeling, in fact, I thought my knobs to open up and tell you guys. I actually went to a doctor. I said, doctor, I don't get it. I'm making all this money, built a dream house, got dream cars, a BMW i8, traveled first class all around the world, been to over 100 countries. I don't understand what's going on. And then I realized, purpose. You've got to have a purpose. So I come back and I start thinking, what gives me the greatest joy aside from Gabby, my wife, and my family? Watching other people change their lives. Let me tell you, it's challenging because many times I want it more than the person that I'm working with wants it. It goes back to those indicators. How's their desire? How's their discipline? Are they tenacious? Now, some of these they have to improve upon. We all do. We all have, that's what development is all about. That's why God put us here. All right. So, but I feel sometimes that I want them to be successful more than they do. And so I have to sometimes relax and take a step back. But today, and I know we measure success in many different ways, and money is one of the ways that we do it. But aside from the money, because you can lose money in life, you can lose freedom. During COVID, we were all quarantined, couldn't go anywhere. Everybody was locked up. You can lose health. I think we've all experienced what it's like to be sick. A lot of things you can lose in life. You can't lose your skills. Nobody can steal your skills from you. Those are yours forever, those skills. And that's what we develop with this. So, Gabby and I have built a organization with over 200 millionaires now around the world, from Spain to Korea, to throughout Asia and Malaysia, Singapore, and then South America and North America and all around the world. And so what we do now that gives us purpose is going out and spending time with the people, because they're part of our family and they deserve it. And it gives us that purpose, you see. So let's dive into the pictures here and have a look at them. I'm going to share my screen. And it's aside from that, it's fun meeting people for the very first time. We met a lot of people that joined us since April, new diamonds, new presidential diamonds that we have, even a new presidential elite, and even a new bronze, actually. And so getting out there and meeting with them and spending time with them and keeping our community, our family together. And that's what, in fact, that was one of my messages, by the way. I said, I know that we all now like to rely on social media and Zoom and all that, and it's wonderful. Like right now, we got people all around the world, from St. Martin in the Caribbean, to Texas, to I'm sure we got people from South America. I think I saw Gloria on here from Ecuador. Zoom is great for that. But when it comes to relationships, when it comes to feeling and emotion, there's no substitute for being with that person. And that's what you'll see in these pictures. And that's why it's also fun. So let me share my screen here. And hopefully you can see my pictures. There we go. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sure can, Dave.
Okay, great. So we took off and landed in Colombia, and we spent the first evening there actually having dinner with Edison there that you see, Gabby. We've got Dr. Bonnet and our good friend Anna, who came to be with us. In fact, Anna was able to attend the event the next day, which was great. And so a lot of fun that we had on the first day, just meeting with some of the leaders. And then we had our event. And there's our GM, Now Lao. Korean, speaks multiple languages, fluent in Spanish. In fact, his wife is Colombian, lives there in Colombia, but he's our GM. Took a lot of pictures, but to me, more important than the event that we have, there's Dr. Bonnet with our GM now. His name's Now Lao. Is this. This is what's so important. Spending time just getting to know people that are part of our community, part of our family. And they had a red carpet there. So these are all brand new diamonds that qualified as diamond for the first 6 months of this year, 2025. And they got to come to the red carpet and be recognized. And so, but see, this is the part that is important. Just getting to know people and mingle and have fun and take pictures and congratulate them. It's so important. People go to work during the daytime. How often are they congratulated, for their efforts? How often are they recognized? And how often are they told how important they are? Not very often in a traditional job. All right. Well, here, we try to recognize everybody, for their efforts, for their work, their achievements. In fact, there's a young, right next to Gabby, she's a new diamond. Her mom is mentoring her. In fact, her mom signed up under her. It became a diamond as well. So she's on her way to presidential diamond. She's got one diamond below her, working on her second one. And that's what I love seeing young people too, because they're the future of this business. And let me tell you, I'll get to Peru in a minute. We went to Peru. Um, a lot of young people out there that are getting conned, they're getting taken advantage of by going and joining these companies that are nothing but scams and pyramids. And that's the thing that I don't like, but I can't prevent it. But what we can do is be good ambassadors. And that way, when they learn by joining something that turns out to be a scam in the end, by the way, the company right now is a big scam. I'll get to Peru in a minute, but it was in Peru. They had an event, this company with over 1,000 young people there. It's a cruise, and you pay $500 to join and $250 a month. That's it. You get points for cruising, to go on cruises. Well, if you don't pay your $250 in a month, half of your points are taken away from you. So it's fear of loss. And you're literally buying your position every month. And I forget how many, after so many months, then you're pulled out completely. You lose everything. In the US, it's illegal. Can't do that. All right. But in these foreign countries, they haven't got caught up yet to some of the laws and so forth. It's a scam. But they get caught up in it because it's a pyramid and some people are making money. That's what hurts our industry. Yeah, but at the same time, you know, companies like us that are really great companies, legitimate companies, you know, we've got incredible products, all the benefits and everything. It helps us because eventually these people that realize network marketing is wonderful when you have the right partner, eventually they come around. You know, not everybody, but a lot of them do. That's why we need to be good ambassadors constantly. Okay. But this is the essence. You can see, you know, people, you know, in the room. I think we had probably over 100 that were there that were recognized. And just meeting with them and talking with them and taking pictures and having a great time and giving pointers and things like that, because that's one of the things they want. They like to hear from someone who's been in the business for quite a while that can, you know, teach and train and mentor and that. And that's what is so important as we're out there on the road. So yeah, I spoke about 90 days of massive action, which many of you have heard, because a lot of these people are just getting started with their business. And this was great, by the way. One of the speakers that was there climbed Mount Everest with one leg. One leg. He had a leg was amputated, and his dream. And he compared it, climbing to reaching a new level of far life. So as he climbed it, he made it to another new base camp. He made Diamond, then Diamond Elite, and Presidential. But he did it a day at a time, a step at a time. And he was incredible. We got a picture with him. A super great guy and great story. Again, a lot of pictures with the people that were there. There he is right there. Just a super guy. Great presentation. He loves For Life too, by the way. Uses the products. And so that was a fun event. Next day in the morning time, meeting with people. You know, this is right before we headed to the airport. Had breakfast with Dr. Bonnet and one of his new guests. I apologize, I can't remember the gentleman's name. A great guy. I mean, the guy is a great leader, entrepreneur, has multiple businesses, but he's interested in another income stream. Again, identify. As I talked to him and we talked about businesses and, you know, a very successful guy, but he agreed he'd like to have another income stream. I asked him, are you influential? Do you know a lot of people? He said, of course he knows a lot of people. I said, take advantage of Dr. Bonnet. He's going to be your sponsor. He's got to talk to people. If he doesn't talk to people with you, he'll talk to people with someone else. That's the beauty of this business. You cannot build a network by yourself. You have to do it with others. So success breeds success. All right. You know, and that's why I always say you are who you associate yourself with. Associate yourself with successful people. Associate yourself with people that lift you up, make you develop and grow and learn and become better. And guess what? You'll become better. You'll develop skills. So after this, we took off and we headed to Manaus. This was on my bucket list since I was a teenager, to go to the Amazon. I've always wanted to go to the Amazon. As a kid, it was about piranhas. You know, the piranhas that are in the Amazon, River. You know how they can devour an entire cow in like 10 seconds. But in this part of the Amazon, there may be piranhas in there. I don't know. But I just always wanted to see the Amazon. So Gabby and I went to Manaus. Believe it or not, there's a flight from Bogota direct to Manaus. We flew to Manaus and took some pictures over the Amazon River. Beautiful, beautiful sunset. And just had some great food. I love yucca, by the way, mandioca. Everywhere I went, I asked for yucca. So took some wonderful pictures. This was kind of a day that we just kind of relaxed a little bit, and got ready for the event. We took off right after Manaus. We took off to Belém, went and had our first event in Belém. Guto, the general manager, is right there in the middle with a black pullover. It says For Life on it. He flew up from Sao Paulo, but we were mainly there for some of our leaders. Dr. Guilherme, who's next to me, he's a chiropractor. He's got the yellow Nike shirt on. He had an event. He spoke at it, and Gabby spoke, and I spoke, and Guto spoke for a minute. But some great leaders flew in, and they flew in there, and they didn't have to, but they spent their money to catch a flight to come into the event. Cesarina is the one next to Gabby, right there. She's a great leader, Diamond, on her way to Presidential Diamond right now. But they flew in to the event. Dr. Guilherme spoke at the event, and then Gabby spoke at the event. And we had probably about, I think, 70, 75 people came out. Almost all of them knew, all kinds of people. Understand, in networking, you guys, people come from all walks of life. Nobody shows up and says, well, I just graduated from college, and I took classes on network marketing. No, these are people that are from, working in the medical community, whether they're chiropractors or doctors or nutritionists, homeopaths, all right? Because our product lends itself to that, because we are in health and wellness business. But we get pilots and lawyers and accountants and engineers, and people have their careers, their life, but they want something more. They're looking for an option where they can achieve a higher goal, higher dreams that they have. And really, that's what network marketing offers. It offers people to change their life, no matter where you come from, no matter what your income class is, whether you're lower class, middle class, upper class. All right, doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Your color, your religion, none of that. All that matters are those indicators I talk about. All right, your desire. All right, are you willing to learn and develop and grow? And nobody went to college. That's what I'm saying. So they're all people that come from different walks of life, and we present to them a plan, an option to work in a community, a family, to build success, to build a legacy, and to develop a residual income, by the way. Very few people think about that. Most people, when they stop working, they stop making money. You don't work, you don't make money. When you build a network, a community, the network, it's all about together, working together, building people. The network continues. You got people down there want to get to the next level. They want to build their business. They're down below you. You support them. All right. That's how this works. There, took a fun picture with some of the people that stuck around afterwards, some of the leaders. Next day, all right, this is the following day in the hotel. This is where the real work begins, all right? Coming in, getting together, meeting with people that were at the event. They want to know more. They want to know how they can grow and develop and start their business. This particular day was interesting for me. I lost my voice. Started at 9 o'clock in the morning and didn't finish until nighttime. And at the end, I said, you guys, if I keep pushing it, I'm not going to be able to talk anymore, because I'm so passionate about this and I love to talk. But I lost my voice for a couple of days. And I told everyone I've got to give my voice a break. So the next day at the event, you'll notice I'm not in this picture. Gabby's there. I didn't go to this event in Salvador. And this was a great event. Anderson flew into Salvador because he's got a nice team there. And they had a fun event. And the reason I didn't go to the event was because it's impossible for me to go to an event and keep my mouth shut. Can't do it. And I know that I'll start trying to talk to me that happened to me back in 1992, I want to say. I lost my voice for 6 months. My vocal cords were paralyzed. Right? And I used to sing. I used to have a recording studio at a very young age. So our voice is very important to us. And so fun time is, you know what? Hang on a second, you guys. You're not going to be able to hear the sound. I hate it that Zoom does this. You've got to click on share sound to do this. All right, let me go back in to photos. Okay, now you should be able to hear the sound.
Olha só, há 5 anos eu tive a oportunidade de conhecer a For Life. De lá pra cá fui falando com alguns amigos, tudo, e nós viemos aqui em Salvador para um evento. Choveu bastante, né, Arleide?
Infelizmente a chuva acabou atrapalhando um pouquinho o nosso evento, Anderson.
Mas mesmo assim algumas pessoas vieram, não é mesmo?
Olha só quem veio!
Parabéns, parabéns a todos que estão aqui! Gente, nós estamos mudando a história da saúde no Brasil. Você não pode ficar de fora, vem com a gente!
So that's what this is all about. You see, everyone, these are people that have gotten started recently. There's some presidential elites and presidentials that are there. Anderson Carpes flew up from south of Brazil. Arledge, who is right next to Anderson, she's our presidential diamond. She as well was speaking. But Gabby, she had to cover everything. She did a wonderful job, by the way. Everybody loves Gabby. And so she spoke. I didn't go. So I missed that one. I stayed in the hotel room, which was brutal. I hated it, but had to do it. Then in the evening time, I did go down and got a bite to eat with this gentleman who's next to me. His name's Nascimento, and he is actually in the pharmaceutical industry, very well known in Brazil. Speaks to a lot of people, highly influential. He's a vegetarian for 40 years. And we had a great time, had a bite to eat and talked. And he's joined us. And he wants to do events. It's what he loves to do. He loves to do events. So we're very excited to have him on our team now. And he loves the science. And that's what attracted him to For Life is the science behind our products. And now, because I had lost my voice, I stayed for a couple of extra days in Salvador. And I wanted to spend some time where I could talk after a couple of days with some of the leaders. And they showed up, and we just spent the day together and had lunch together. These are all presidential elites, and just had fun. Right at the hotel, there's a lake, a little lagoon there, and just had fun doing some goofy pictures. And this is what's so important, you guys. This stuff right here, just talking and having a good time and spending time with each other and answering questions and whatever the conversation, wherever it goes, it's just taking time. But we had a lot of fun with a lot of our leaders. There's our Leje right there, and this is one of our presidential elites. Me and Gabby. Another picture with Anderson and some of the leaders. By the way, just to recognize, that's Ailton, presidential elite. And let me go through, make sure there's Milton right there. Milton, another presidential elite who's in the middle right there. And then we took off to Sao Paulo. Went to Sao Paulo and Guto was there. This is at the For Life office, actually. The room was packed. Mariana, brand new diamond, on her way to presidential diamond. She's a nutritionist. She educates people about nutrition. Luciana, who's next to me there, never done networking before. She had some really good leaders that showed up. They're very interested in building the For Life business as well in Brazil. So we spoke there, and there's Maria. She's also in the health and wellness business, on her way to presidential diamond. I believe she's a diamond elite right now. And then after Sao Paulo, we took off to Peru. And we were welcomed in Peru by some of our great leaders. Alberto Flores right there in the middle next to me, taller than me, which is rare, but it was great. Alberto showed up at the hotel, actually showed up at the airport with Alejandro, with Jose Antonio, with Rafael, and then their families met us at the hotel afterwards. Rafael Salazar showed up with his two kids, Coti and Tito. And we had a breakfast. The following morning, we had a breakfast with the leaders. It was a paid event where they all paid to come to have a breakfast. And we spent, here we are again, just networking, talking to people, getting to know people. And we did a podcast after the breakfast. A fun podcast. And of course, I had to take a picture. Gabby was actually on her way in an Uber. So I figured when I showed up, they want to get a picture of For Life. This is at the breakfast. These are great networkers, by the way. Giancarlo with the kind of the rust sweater there. The guy's got his fist pump, Jose, very successful networker that came out that wants to build a For Life business. And here's what I'm finding, you guys. My observation, when people understand networking and they've done it in the past and they realize how it can be life-changing, but you have to have the right partner. You have to have the right people, the right culture, the right products. There's a lot of things that have to go into it to make it a successful venture. Well, they've had a taste of it, but it didn't work out long term. Why? Because the company they were with failed them. They didn't fail themselves. The company that they were with maybe didn't have the experience. It was mismanaged. Maybe it was even illegal. Maybe they weren't registered properly. All kinds of reasons the company goes down. But they know the power of networking. So when I present the plan, especially to a networker like Jose, the guy with the fist in the middle, very successful networker. I mean, these guys have made $30,000 a month in a country like Peru. $60,000 a month, one of them. I saw his bonuses. Company's gone. Well, do you think they want to go back to a traditional job? No. Do they want to go back to a traditional business? No. Because they can't make that kind of money. They can't compress a lifetime of work down into, 5 years, 7 years when you have the right company, right products, and right people. That's why they want to do networking. They're just looking for the right home. And so that's a big part of what I'm presenting to people. Here we have a great home for you where you can build a legacy. There's Giancarlo and his wife, and I forget some of the names. So, I always apologize. I can't remember every name, but Giancarlo, he actually opened up for us on a lot of the meetings. There's Milagros. Boy, Milagros, I pegged her real quick on her color. She's a color blue. Blue are very social people. They love to talk. She's wonderful, but I kept telling her, Milagros, when you talk to people, try not to overwhelm them with so much information. All right. I mean, she likes to break down the weight of the transfer factor molecule and talk about how it affects your T cells and B cells. And I'm like, no. Don't try to convert everybody into a doctor. If you're talking to a doctor, great, But we had a lot of conversations with Milagros. She's really fun. And there's John Mora, the guy in the middle. Great networker again. He's from Chile, Chilean. He wants to go and build Chile. I told him it's a wide open market. Everywhere's wide open, by the way. Even the United States, wide open. And so there's Rafael. He's John's sponsor. John's actually in the business now. He's signed up. And I went and had great lunch together with some of our top leaders. There's Rocio right there next to me. Between me and Alberto, Rocio, she's our bronze. Alberto's our bronze, along with our new diamonds, Alejandro Serrano and Rafael Salazar with their family. Carolina, who's next to Rafael, well, they both have glasses on. Carolina's in the white shirt, and Natalie is in the black shirt next to Alejandro. Alejandro's with the beard. And we did a podcast with Alejandro Serrano. That was a lot of fun. And he asked a lot of questions, and we answered the questions on a podcast recorded. All these should be airing here this week, by the way. I'll try to get the dates and the recordings so you can all have a copy of it. And took a nice fun. And now, fun thing about this, the two guys next to me on my left there, They ran the podcast and they wanted to know more about For Life. One of them came to the event at night. Will's the guy on the very end. It's his company, does the podcast. He wanted to know more about For Life after we did the podcast. And we spent time presenting the plan to him. And then at nighttime, we had our event, kind of a fun little auditorium that we had. It was packed. Every seat was full. And I presented the plan. Gabby presented the plan with the people. And we had dinner. Great. There's TGI Fridays. We didn't go to TGI Fridays. We went to a Japanese restaurant up on the roof and had a great fun time, great dinner together. It's about having fun. It's about being with the people. It's about, sharing experiences. Even the kids. Raphael took his kids that came out. And there's a fun picture with his kids. Gabby's right behind us. I think he was talking to someone when we took that pic. Okay. Then we flew back home. And right after we got home, guess who showed up the following day? Claudia with Waldo. For the first time, we got to meet Mateo. They're actually, I think, still traveling. I think they're up north in San Francisco right now. They came to our house to visit us. And many of you know we live on a mountaintop. And so we had fun taking pictures and just having a good time together. Again, this is what networking is about, you guys. It's about having a good time. I tell people, look, this business, yeah, I understand it's a serious business. You want to be successful, but don't take it so seriously. In other words, have fun presenting the plan. If someone's not ready, they're not ready. It's not your fault, all right? But you get better at identifying people. And if you remove any of the fears, any of the doubts, you can always come up with a reason why they should join you, whether it's health and wellness, whether it's making some extra money. And I even tell people this. I say, look, I'm a networker, all right? Well, I have to talk to people. I don't go run down the street, jumping up and down, knocking on doors, waving a For Life flag, screaming at people. I don't do that. I talk to people through other people. So if you're willing to work with me and just invite people that because you know people I don't know. Every one of you right on this call right now. You know people I don't know. If you'd like me to talk to them and present a plan, present an option, invite them to our opportunity meetings. I can't do it one-on-one every day. There's only so many hours in the day. But I can do it when you bring people to the table. I can present for you or with you, all right? And you can participate too. That's what this is all about. Contributing, okay? We're a community of contribution. So Claudia showed up inside our home, took a few pictures. And one of my favorite pictures, this was in our driveway. There we go. There is Odin. Odin fell in love with Mateo. Mateo is only 13 years old. He's a big 13-year-old kid. But we had a lot of fun, meeting with everybody and taking pictures. That's what networking is about. Now think about this, you guys. What if everybody that's here with us today, we got 34 people on this call. Appreciate y'all joining. Let's say all 34 of us talk to one person a day. One a day. Why do I say one a day? We're creatures of habit. So if you do something every day in your business, and maybe you only talk to 3 people this week, but you do something for your business every single day, whether it's becoming an expert on a particular product, reading about it. Take a product. Take H Pro, for example. What's NMN? Do you know? You know what I did when I heard about NMN long before For Life had introduced us to H Pro, because David Sinclair, some of you might know David Sinclair. He's a Harvard professor, and he's a specialist in anti-aging. Never die. Live forever. So David Sinclair was one of the ones that introduced us to NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide. I practice saying that, by the way. Nicotinamide mononucleotide. Nicotinamide mononucleotide. Talk to your family about that, and they're going to look at you like you're crazy. All right? But you know what? You can go on the National Institute of Health. All right? That's a government website. And you can read about the benefits of NMN. You can look it up on Google. Ask AI. I use Grok, but you can use ChatGPT. Say, ChatGPT, tell me the benefits of NMN. What does it do? and then take those bullets and memorize them. It's only going to take you a few minutes. Now you've become a specialist at and with an anti-aging product or at anti-aging. You can tell people about a product. It has transfer factor in it for the immune system. It's got NMN, which raises levels of NAD plus in the body, helps keep your body cleansed of senescent cells or zombie cells. So all these wonderful benefits. Well, do that one day if you're not talking to someone, but don't get caught up in analysis paralysis, where now you want to become a specialist at everything, but not share it with anybody. I always say this, and we'll finish up right now. If you were going to have heart surgery, let's say that you needed a bypass, heart surgery, open heart surgery, and you had to choose between two surgeons. One surgeon over here that spent 30 years in a classroom as an expert at studying everything about the heart. Or this person over here is a surgeon that spent 15 years studying and 15 years in the operating room doing surgery. Who would you pick? I'll take the one that has the experience doing operations. You see, that's how we have to look at ourselves. All right. It's great to know everything, but you've got to get out and share because there's no substitute for experience. And this is a people business. That's what this is about. So the essence of network marketing is about people. There's an abundance of people. It's about, if you have to learn to be more social, learn to be more social. It's all right. Change. If you're here and you want your life to go up to here, guess what? It's impossible to do it without change. So you apply yourself, you develop, you grow, you develop skills, social skills, leadership skills, communication skills, the skill to identify someone's needs, getting to know people. Then pretty soon, all of a sudden, you're now leading people and guiding and inspiring and influencing and motivating and mentoring and all that stuff. Anybody can do it. I'll finish by saying this. Keep in mind, every successful person in our business was once unsuccessful in our business. They started at zero. Nobody was giving an organization. They started by signing up and developing and growing and learning. So I invite you all to come with us on this journey together. Let's have fun together, build together, be successful together. That's what this is about. Thank you again for being with me today. It's been an hour exactly. I'll pass it back to you, J. Michael. Love you guys. And hopefully we'll see you on a lot more Mentor Mondays and on our other calls. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks so much. It's a pleasure always to spend some time with you, even though on Zoom. Can't wait to see you in person again. Hopefully it won't, and Gabby as well, and your family. But appreciate everything you do for us. Everyone, just real quickly, it is top of the hour. Try to wrap this up. Make sure you, as Dave mentioned earlier, go to uplinepro.com and become a member. It's free, and there's just a wealth of information in there. And importantly, there's a calendar that has Dave's meetings. And he has meetings in Portuguese, Spanish. He does meetings all through the week. You can find those on there. And we've got a couple of other meetings. Dodie, I don't know if you're available real quick. In September, guys, we're going to do another cleanse and detox. It's a great opportunity to invite your friends and family members to do a cleanse and a detox. We've got 7-day, 10-day, I think 21 days. But that's going to happen in September. It's a great group of people that you can invite people to meet and join the community to do it together. And it's an amazing community. Jody, speak real quickly about what's happening tonight. And is it tomorrow night as well with the detox?
Tomorrow night, there's no call. Tonight, Dr. Ronnie and myself will be and we have Ellis on, the detox emotional support coach. We're going to talk about the options out there because going 21 days without chewing or without food is kind of scary for a lot of people. So we're going to discuss some other options that you can dip your toe in the water with and see if it suits you. Dr. Ronnie's actually going to be doing the detox with the small group of us that are starting out. We're going to be drawing tonight for the detox giveaway. Sorry about my lighting. I should have turned on my spotlights, but they get warm. So I'm looking forward to it. So tonight it's at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can join our Dr. Ronnie's Detox group in Facebook. This is a group where you can mingle in there and talk to people. These are the people that haven't made the commitment yet. Once you purchase your For Life kit from whoever brought you into the group and you're ready to start with us, we'll move you into the paid group where we go deeper into recipes for the soup, for the broth, or the liqueur, as Dr. Ronnie calls it. So, and she joins us every week through the journey, which is wonderful. Plus, you have a group of great coaches, Jillian, Erica, Casey, myself, Claudia. We're all at your disposal on Messenger. So if you end up having a health opportunity or healing, we're there to walk you through it. So I am looking forward to being back. I've had a couple weeks off, and we're going to talk about mindset because I've been talking to myself in my own head about doing my detox here on September 1st. I'm quite excited to get going. But I did start today with the reset from For Life just to kind of give my body a, oh, I'm back from holidays and I need to smarten up because September's not that far away. But thank you, J. Michael, for
You're
inviting
welcome,
me to
Daddy.
speak.
No problem. No problem at all. And Dr. Gina, I believe, is doing a health talk tomorrow on Tuesdays. That's on the calendar. We just have a host of opportunity to invite your friends and your people and your teams to, and your community to join. And we all, as I always say, every single one of us on this community are so dedicated to helping and contributing and helping everyone reach their success, however they however they choose to manage their success. But appreciate you joining us today. We'll be back next Monday with a new topic. I believe Jade is also scheduled coming up soon. She's a corporate trainer with us for life. Many of you know Jade. She's done some great training on social media. She's coming back with us this month. We'll see Dave again throughout the rest of the August and September, and along with Gabby. And but join us. Good to see all of you as well. Appreciate you so much. God bless. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Love you guys.